When people imagine an off-grid home, they usually think about electricity, solar panels, battery systems, generators, energy independence. But there is another question that is often far more important. Where does the water come from? Most homes connected to public utilities receive water through an enormous network of treatment plants, pumping stations, reservoirs, and underground pipes. The process is largely invisible. You turn on a faucet, clean water appears. Simple. But off-grid homes operate differently. There is no municipal water line, no public utility connection, no city infrastructure delivering water every day. Yet thousands of off-grid households still have access to reliable water. So how do they do it? The answer is that most off-grid homes don't rely on a single water source. Instead, they build systems, and understanding those systems reveals a lot about how modern water infrastructure actually works. For many off-grid properties, the primary water source is a private well. Water exists beneath the surface in underground aquifers. A well provides access to that water. A pump brings it to the surface. The water can then be filtered, stored, and distributed throughout the home. This approach offers significant independence because the water source exists directly on the property. However, wells are not completely self-operating. Most modern well pumps require electricity, which means water and energy remain closely connected. Many off-grid households address this challenge using solar power systems, battery storage, or backup generators. The result is a water system that remains functional even when public utilities are unavailable. For many off-grid homeowners, a well becomes the foundation of long-term water resilience. Not every off-grid property has access to a productive well. In those situations, rainwater collection often becomes an important solution. The concept is surprisingly simple. Rain falls on a roof, gutters direct the water, storage tanks collect it. The water can then be filtered and treated depending on its intended use. Around the world, rainwater collection has been used for centuries. Modern systems can range from small residential setups to large-scale storage systems capable of supporting households for extended periods. The effectiveness of rainwater collection depends heavily on local climate conditions. Areas with consistent rainfall often benefit the most, but regardless of location, storage plays a critical role. Collecting water is only part of the process. Keeping water available between rain events is equally important. This is why storage tanks often become one of the most visible features of off-grid properties. Some off-grid households use a combination of methods. Surface water sources, such as ponds, streams, and lakes, may provide water when properly filtered and treated. Others rely on hauled water delivered to large storage tanks. And in recent years, some homeowners have become interested in atmospheric water generation systems. These systems use condensation principles to capture moisture from the air. While they are rarely a complete replacement for larger water systems, they can provide an additional layer of resilience. The key lesson is that successful off-grid homes rarely depend on one source. Instead, they create redundancy. A well, a storage tank, rainwater collection, filtration systems, backup options. Each layer reduces vulnerability and increases flexibility. The most interesting thing about off-grid water systems is not the technology, it's the mindset. Most people connected to public utilities rarely think about where water comes from. Off-grid homeowners think about it constantly. They understand collection, storage, filtration, distribution, maintenance, and backup planning. The real advantage isn't simply independence. It's awareness. Because once you understand how water reaches a home, you begin to see how important resilience really is. Whether someone lives completely off-grid or in the middle of a major city, the same principle applies. Water security is strongest when there are multiple layers of access. Storage, filtration, collection, backup planning. The goal is not to predict every possible disruption. The goal is to build options. Because in any water system, options create resilience. And resilience creates confidence.